So I get sent dash cams all the time. Some of them good, some of them bad. Sometimes I even get stuff that point blank refuses to power on. So a few weeks ago, the guys over at VanTrue sent me a couple of their N2 Pro dash cams to take a look at and see what it can do. So today I'm going to tell you about what I love, what I hate, and is it worth buying one. So taking a look at the specs, it has a 170-degree wide-angle front-facing road cam with the OmniVision 4689 sensor. It's got a rear-facing 140-degree Sony IMX323, which has infrared night vision. It's also got a 1.5-inch TFT screen built in with a mini HDMI port for plugging in an external display. It records up to 1440p at 30 frames per second, or my recommended choice, 1080p at 60. Now going into the menu, is quite well laid out and quite easy to navigate. You've got a few pages of settings to go through. You can customize what is displayed on the screen, like the logo, time and date, speed, GPS position, and your license plate. Each of these can be turned on and off individually. Also in the settings, you have the standard dashcam stuff like collision detection, G-sensor, parking mode, and a nice time-lapse option. You can also adjust the loop recording length from 1, 3, or 5 minutes, or turn it off completely. You can turn the microphone on and off, the button sound can be disabled, exposure can be adjusted, infrared LEDs can be turned on for the driver cam, frequency can be adjusted to either 50 or 60 Hz, and the screen can be rotated just in case you feel like mounting it upside down for whatever reason. Also included in the box is a very nice 1000-page instruction book which explains what all of these things do. So this thing is built pretty solid. It looks like it can survive quite a few drops without breaking into a million pieces. It's made of a nice tough plastic which feels really smooth. It's almost like velvet. It makes you wanna stroke it like a small dog. Buttons are solid. They have a very nice strong tactile feel, as well as being quite snug inside the housing, so you don't get any rattles picked up on the video. Now, unlike some of my previous cams, I've had to actually glue the buttons in place to stop them from shaking. So overall, seems like a well-built and well-designed little cam. Somebody sat there at the drawing board and designed this cam and thought of all the small details that the end user would appreciate. And on top of that, you also get an 18-month warranty. Not too bad. Alright, so to the right of the screen, you have the internal cam with 4 infrared LEDs to light up the cabin while you're driving at night. Now, I think they're aiming this dash cam at Uber and taxi drivers here, but if you're like me and you decide to have your mother-in-law ride along with you from time to time, at least now you'll be able to catch her wiping her grubby fingers on your freshly cleaned seats. So I only realised this after reading the manual, but the inside cam does actually rotate so you can get a clear picture even if you mount it up high on the windscreen. Talking of mounting it, you do get a suction mount, which I'm not really a fan of, but it does allow you to move it easily if you drive a number of different vehicles. Although saying that, it does do a decent job of holding the cam in place. There's no noticeable shakes or vibrations in the video. The mount is also home to one of 2 USB power ports. You can have the wire facing upwards and you can tuck it away neatly inside the headliner. Taking a look at the other side, you have a secret door that opens to reveal an SD card slot, a reset button, as well as a second USB port. Inside there's also a mini HDMI port for connecting an external display if you're into that sort of thing. So on the bottom you've got some navigation buttons, an air vent and a microphone. On the front you have a few more air vents and a speaker. So far so good. Now let's see how well it performs on the road. Now they do advertise this one as having high quality and distortion free audio. So while I wouldn't call it amazing, it does do a better job than most dash cams of recording your voice, even when you're shouting at misbehaving passengers. Road noise is also quite acceptable. Okay, road noise at 20. Road noise at 40. So sound quality overall, very nice. Now we take a look at the video quality. Picture is good. I've got no problems picking out number plates of cars at speed. Colors look nice, contrast is good. Now I did turn the exposure down to -1 in the onboard settings because at default it just looked a bit too bright, especially in full sun. So just bear that in mind. You may have to do a little bit of tweaking just to get the best picture. Okay, so what's it like in the dark? It's not super sharp. It does a pretty decent job at recording video at night, even on these really poorly lit roads. You just can't make this up, can you? It's a cyclist at night with no lights on and dark clothes. Wow, that's special. That is special. One thing to bear in mind when recording with both front and rear cams is that there will be a drop in video bitrate because the processor has to deal with 2 video and audio channels at the same time. So you do end up sacrificing a small bit of quality if you want to record in dual channel mode. So the final video file is cut from 24K to 11, but like I said, it's a function that taxi drivers will be thankful for, as you never know what kind of strange things go on in the dark. Some of the strangest things I've ever seen while I've been driving have happened at night, so you'll be surprised at what weird things happen after dark. Okay Benji, you've made it sound amazing. What's wrong with it? Okay, so I'm really not a fan of having a hardwired USB power cord. This may be fine for people who only use the cigarette lighter for their dash cam, but I personally have a few things that are USB powered in my car, and having a wired connection for the cam means I can no longer charge anything while I'm using it unless I buy a separate USB multi-port adapter. So it would have been nice to have one of those included in the box. Yeah, add this in somewhere because you're an idiot and you didn't read the instructions. Something else that would have been nice to have included would have been some cable clips. These have been included with a lot of cams I've tested lately, and they stick to your window or trim panels and they keep the wires in place and make everything look neat and tidy. A little plastic pry tool would have also been nice to keep the wires tucked away neatly behind the trim. Another thing to mention is the lack of Wi-Fi. For a cam of this price, I would have liked to see Wi-Fi just to make changing any settings, downloading clips a little bit easier, but if I'm honest, I can live without it because taking the SD card out and transferring clips is not really a major deal breaker for me. So should you buy it? Well, if you've got passengers or you're a taxi driver or you need to monitor the inside of your car for whatever reason, then yes, you've got just under 360 degrees of protection with this thing. So if that's what you want, I recommend it for that. So it may be a little bit overkill if you're like my granddad and you only go to the shops once or twice a week. But if it had Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, like the A129 I've been using for the last year, yeah, having a Bluetooth remote makes capturing any interesting things you see a lot easier. If it had that, I would have no issue switching to this one full time, especially since it picks up engine noises quite well. So there you go, my thoughts on the N2 Pro. If you fancy picking one of these up for yourselves, there's a couple of links in the description. I'll see about getting some discount codes for you guys as well. Now they did send me a couple of these to give away, so the first one is going to be going to one of the guys following over on Patreon. I'll also be picking one of you at random, following on either Facebook, Twitter or Snapchat. Just leave a comment saying give me that cam and I'll be picking one of you at random in a couple of days. Alright, if you liked it, leave a like. If you got something to say, leave a comment. If you haven't already subscribed, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.